Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 1 of our Go Healthy Weight Management program. Today, we're going to discuss the success of last week's assignment. We'll talk about part 1, 2, and 3. I will introduce the My Plate Food Guide. We will discuss the third Go Healthy Fundamental. We will review the record-keeping tools, and then I'll discuss the week's assignment, as well as introduce next week's topic. All right, so we're going to discuss the last week's assignment, which is part 1, and that was using your Go Healthy tracker. So I sent out an email to everyone, and that email was the recording from last week, as well as a link to complete the Go Healthy tracker. So in order for you to potentially be eligible to win those gift card prizes that I mentioned last week, and if you want to go back and watch the recording from the intro week, I talk more about that, but you do have to attend at least 10 of the 12 classes and submit 10 of these Go Healthy trackers to be eligible to win a gift card. So you want to use your Go Healthy tracker regardless of your goal. If your goal is weight loss, you want to calculate 5% weight loss goal. So how do you do that? You want to take your starting weight and you want to multiply that by 0.95, and that's how you get your goal weight. Then each week, you're going to self-monitor your weight. So you're going to take it one day a week or multiple days for a weekly weight average. Then you're going to record and submit it on that Go Healthy tracker. And then at the end, I'll see if anyone has any questions. All right, so that was part 1. Part 2 is the first fundamental that we went over, which is the guide to smart food choices. And the purpose of the guide to smart food choices is to help you select lower calorie food and beverages without having to count calories. It is based on the calorie density of food and beverages. So how do you use the guide? So the first step is try to clean out your kitchen, your pantry of those occasional foods. So as I mentioned last week, you still are able to have those foods occasionally, but what you'll find is if you have them stored in your home, if you have a lot of those foods stored, then you might have those foods more than occasionally. The goal is to stock up on those anytime foods and the portion control foods. So you want to consume most of your food and beverages from the anytime category. Consume moderate amount of foods and beverages from the portion control category. And then have a very limited amount of food and beverages from the occasional category. So has anyone looked at the guide on here at all? You can give me a thumbs up. Or if you're watching this recording, have you used the guide? Definitely is a great guide to have to kind of let you know what foods you can have anytime, what foods you need to practice portion control with, and foods that you limited. And that is from the occasional food category. So if you've not had the opportunity to look at the guide to smart food choices, I encourage you just to find some time this week and really take a look at that guide to smart food choices. All right, so part three was our second fundamental, and the general guideline for drinking water is 64 ounces a day. So I know that might vary with some people. I know there are some conditions that make you limit your water intake, but the general guideline is to have at least 64 ounces a day. So that is the goal. So something that I want you to all to think about is what is a strategy or strategies that you are currently using or you would like to use to increase your water consumption. And that's if you are not getting those 64 ounces of water a day. What strategy or strategies can you use to increase your water consumption? Or haven't if you haven't increased it, then think about that. Think about what you can do to increase that. All right, so let's talk about the My Plate Food Guide. So in general, a balanced diet focuses on the 5 food groups, which includes fruits, grains, vegetables, protein, and dairy. The purpose of the My Plate is to have a visual tool to build a healthy plate with the 5 food groups. It also is a helpful way to focus on portion size of each food group. And lastly, it helps you make smarter choices with the 5 food groups. So when it comes to the My Plate, you want to make half of your plate fruits and vegetables. For fruits, you want to focus on whole fruits. For vegetables, you want to vary your veggies. You want to try to make that plate as colorful as you can. For protein, you will vary your protein routine. For grains, you want to make at least half of your grains whole grains. And for dairy, if you are having dairy, you want to move to low fat or fat-free dairy milk or yogurt. Now, if you are a person that does not do dairy, then you want to lean more towards those unsweetened options because they will have less of that sugar in there. So if you are doing dairy alternatives, you want to make sure that they are unsweetened. Also, you want to choose food and beverages with less added sugars, saturated fat, and sodium. So that is the My Plate Food Guide. It's just a great visual representation for you to build a healthy balance plate. All right, so now we're going to talk about that third Go Healthy fundamental, which is vegetables and fruits. So there are many benefits of consuming a diet rich in vegetables and fruits. They include lowering your blood pressure, reducing the risk of heart disease and stroke, can prevent some forms of cancer, can lower the risk of digestive problems, can have a positive effect on your blood sugar, and it can promote weight loss. So the goal is to have at least 5 servings a day of fruits and vegetables. You want to do 3 vegetables and 2 fruits. You want to aim for color and variety. The keys to success is to plan ahead. You want to make sure that you meal plan. Make sure that you are identifying meals that will have plenty of vegetables and fruits. Next, shop and then also meal prep. These are your keys to success is planning ahead. Make sure you plan ahead. It's harder when you're not planning ahead because at the last minute you might grab something, convenient and it might not be vegetables or fruits. Next, you can use the 1-2-2 eating pattern. So you can have 1 serving for breakfast, 2 servings for lunch, and 2 servings for dinner. So you can match that up however you would like. So let's say you have a serving of vegetables for breakfast, and then you have a fruit and vegetable for lunch, and then you have a fruit and vegetable for dinner. You can do that any way you would like. If you want to change it up, if you want to have Let's say you have oatmeal and you want to start adding fruit to your oatmeal in the morning. You can have that one serving of fruit then. And if you want to have a serving of fruit for lunch, you can do that as well. If you want to do 2 servings of vegetables at dinner and 1 serving at lunch, you are welcome to do that as well. But that 1-2-2 is a easy way to remember, hey, I need to get 1 serving at breakfast, 2 servings at lunch, and 2 servings at dinner. And as I mentioned, you can mix that up however you would like. The goal is just to make sure that you are getting those 5 servings of vegetables and fruit a day. All right, so let's talk about vegetables first. So the goal is to have at least 3 servings of vegetables a day. 1 serving equals 1 cup of raw or cooked vegetables or 100% vegetable juice, 2 cups of raw leafy greens. The My Plate tip is to vary your vegetables, and you can use the Guide to Smart Food Choices to help guide you on those anytime vegetables, those portion control vegetables, and those occasional vegetables. So definitely using that Guide to Smart Food Choices can really help. Next, we have fruits. So having at least 2 servings of fruits a day. 1 serving equals 1 cup of fruit or 100% fruit juice or half a cup of dried fruit. The My Plate tip is to focus on whole fruits as much as possible, whether they are fresh, canned, frozen, or dried, instead of juice. And again, you can use that Guide to Smart Food Choices to help guide you on those fruits that you can have anytime, the fruits that need to be portion controlled, and those occasional fruits. All right, let's talk about the record keeping tools. So these tools are completely optional. If you want to do them, you certainly can. The first one is the plan page. This helps you to track your anytime portion control and occasional foods. It is a daily food and beverage tracker. So this is something that is optional. You can do it on your own, as I mentioned, and you don't have to turn this one into me. This is just for you to track. Okay, next we have our fundamentals record, which you are tracking your fundamentals. So your fruit and vegetable intake, your water, your meal replacements, and physical activity, which we're going to talk about in the upcoming weeks. So again, this is for you, however you would like to track it. All right, so the record keeping tool that is required to complete is your Go Healthy Tracker. And your Go Healthy Tracker is to be completed by the day of next class. So I will send that all to you all, and you would complete it and submit it to me. So last week, what you needed to focus on was your starting weight, your goal weight, your average weight for the week, your water consumption, and then if you use how many days did you use the Guide to Smart Food Choices. Now, I did send that yesterday to everyone because I know sometimes that first one can be confusing. Sometimes when people receive it that day or Thursday or whatever day that is, sometimes people think you complete it right then and there, but it's actually due either Tuesday or Wednesday. So if you have not done that yet, the one that was due today, you are to complete the starting weight, your goal weight, what your average weight for the week was, your water consumption, and your Guide to Smart Food Choices. And I sent that in an email. I can resend that out to everyone again if you all need it. But if you can, just take the opportunity to complete that Go Healthy Tracker today. All right. So this week's assignment is to focus on the three fundamentals that we've discussed so far. So last week we talked about guide to smart food choices. So using that guide. The second fundamental was water, which was drinking 64 ounces of water a day. That's just a general guideline. And then also um, increase your fruits and vegetables, making sure you are getting at least 5 servings a day, 3 servings of vegetables and 2 servings of fruit. All right, so next week's topic, we are going to be talking about the fourth Go Healthy fundamental, which is portion control strategies. We're going to specifically talk about grains, protein, and dairy. So today we talked about the fruits and vegetables in the My Plate, but we're going to talk about the 3 other food groups next week. We will also talk about meal replacements, which it can be a possibly great tool for you if you are a person that is always on the go and maybe might not have the time every day to fully prepare, meals. So we'll talk about that more next week. But that is all that I have for you all today. And I will be sending out an email to you all with the recording as well as information for that Go Healthy tracker. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions. Please make sure you email me if you have any questions. But that is all for today. I will see you all next week. Thank you, everyone.